today I'm going to show you how to make a maple leaf quilt block. You're going to start out with, you need 3 2.5-inch squares that are a darker color, 1 2.5-inch square that's a light. For the stem, you're going to need a 2.5-inch square that's dark and 2 2-inch squares that are a lighter color. And then you're going to need 2 3-inch squares that are a dark and 2 3-inch squares that are a light. We're going to take these two and we're going to turn them over and we're going to draw a line down the center on the back. Now I just use a pencil, you can use whatever you have. Okay, I'm going to match this up. So I started with 5-inch squares. So I'm just matching straight side to straight side and pinked edge to the pinked edge. You don't have to, I just do that. We're going to take this to the sewing machine and we're going to sew 1/4 inch on either side of this line. We're going to do that for both of these. I'm going to move these to the side and move this one to the side. Now, for our stem, I have already taken these and drawn a line down the center. We're going to take the 2-inch square and lay on top of the 2.5, and you're going to stitch on this line. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna trim 1/4 inch. We're gonna turn this over and we're gonna do the same thing on this side. So I'm gonna take this to the sewing machine. So here we go, I'll meet you at the sewing machine. So remember, on all your new projects, make sure you have a full bobbin, and depending on how much time you have on your needle, you might want to think about switching out your needle. All right, remember, I'm going to take the 3-inch light and the 3-inch dark, right sides together, and I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on either side of this lined . I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Right sides together, we're sewing 1/4 inch on either side. threads in just a minute. Now we're going to take our 2.5-inch square and our 2-inch light square, and I'm going to sew directly on this line. So we've sewn directly on this line. For right now, I'm just going to fold this up, and I'm going to take this one. We're going to put it, well, I'm going to turn it in this direction, and I'm going to sew directly along this line. Okay, I'm going to just snip these threads. I'm going to trim this on the line. Okay. Now I'm going to take these, I'm just going to finger press. To the dark. So I'm going to take these to the ironing board and press those to the dark side. But first, we're going to get this ready to press too. So we've stitched along this line. So I'm going to use my little ruler here. I have a 1/4 inch line right here. I'm going to put that across my stitch line. And I'm going to trim that off. So now I have a 1/4 inch seam. When I press this, I'm going to press it in this direction. So this will be our stem, which is actually a 2.5 inch square. So let me go press these and I'll be right back. These half square triangles, I'm going to square up to 2.5 inches. I have a little 4.5 inch block that I'm going to use. So I'm going to line my 45. Now I'm going to flip this around. Much better. So now we're going to take this to the sewing machine and we're going to take column 2, right sides together to column 1. I'm going to turn these, put these over by my machine because I'm going to chain piece these. I'm going to take these and move them over, and I'll see you at the sewing machine. We're taking column 1 and 2, the pieces from row 1, the ones across the top, right sides together. We're going to stitch 1/4 inch. Now I'm not going to cut my thread. I'm just going to stop sewing, bring my next 2, make sure they're lined up, raise my presser foot just a little bit to get this underneath there, and we're just going to stitch. Same thing for the last 2. Okay, now I'm going to cut my thread. Bring these back up. Okay, this is how I stitch them. I'm going to take this one, fold over, take my top one, and place it right sides together. So now we have our top row and our middle row. I'm just finger pressing these. The top row I'm finger pressing the seams outwards. The middle row I'm finger pressing the seams inward. And these I will press out on the bottom row. So here's our leaf. I'm going to take the top row, fold over, and because of how we finger pressed our seams, they're going in opposite directions. So we should be able to nest them nicely. And we're going to stitch with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now if you would feel more comfortable putting pins in, feel free. So there we have our top 2 stitched together, and now we're going to bring up the bottom. So there we have it. I'm going to go give it a good press, trim off these strings, and show you our finished product.